I'm a DJ boy, going to Dcentral, minting NFT, farming DeFi, being crypto poor but JPay rich.
As I said, there is a lot of innovation coming up in this Web3 and NFT space. This next piece of innovation is, how do you bring together brands and NFTs? Big name spaces and big innovative plans. How do you enmesh them together and create relationships that will bring new ways of being to video games, to blockchain-based technologies, to NFTs? Well, please put your hands together and let's welcome to the stage Mr. Owen Ma to talk to us just about that.
Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. My name is Owen Ma. I'm a co-founder and head of partnerships at EPIK. And my primary responsibility at EPIK is all of our brand and game partnerships. What is EPIK? We are a leading B2B NFT platform, working with AAA game companies and large entertainment IP. Some of our roster of clients include all the biggest names from entertainment from Tencent, Garena, Gameloft, and even Universal and Warner Music. So today I'm going to be talking about some things more on a practical level. Sorry, one second here. The clicker is not working. Got some technical difficulties here, guys. Hello? Sorry, guys. Oh, there we go. Awesome. So I'm going to be talking about some things more on a practical level today, so more of something that you can execute. So we're going to break things up. We're going to talk about the psychology behind the NFT hype, the business of licensing, and I'm going to give you a quick little 4-part playbook on how to get brands and IP into your metaverse or game. So we've probably all seen this, large crypto whales buying NFTs like rocks and celebrities buying Bored Apes. So what does all this really mean? Well, people buy things pay real money for virtual items for the same reason they pay for real consumer commodities, namely status, identity, membership, class, and performance. So what does all this really mean? It all boils back down to brands and licensing. Because let's face it, brands sell, IP sells, people want to associate themselves with a certain type of brand. Think of it like even, whether you're a Tesla guy or a Ferrari guy, or maybe you're an iPhone user or an Android user. So NFTs is really all about licensing, because NFT is really just a new product category. So what that means is that with digital content, brands are looking for ways to engage their consumers more, and NFTs is becoming that, giving consumers a way to have digital products but authenticated in where they can own it and really hold it for store of value. The next big opportunity of NFTs, as we've all been hearing, is the Metaverse. So the Metaverse is really the underlying factor that is putting a lot of NFTs to be able to have interoperability and transferability with all their brand content. For EPIK, we do work with a lot of Metaverse companies. So if you're a Metaverse company, really IP and licensing is really a big part of your strategy, because it gives that relatability for the mainstream consumer when they are in a Metaverse environment. The next part is a lot of our brand clients also want to be in the Metaverse. So our job as their agent is to really put them into the right ones that satisfy the same type of brand content to give them that engagement. The next part is really a quick step-by-step guide on how to approach licensing. So if you're a game or a Metaverse or even NFT marketplace, these are some quick approaches on how you can get that. So we're going to break it down into a quick, what we call the field of play, who the players are, the different strategies in licensing, and of course the end game, why you want IP in the first place. So really, I talked about licensing. Really, it's just an exchange of value to incorporate somebody else's IP into your product or service. The concept seems pretty straightforward, but with licensing, it's actually quite complex. With that, it's not about what you know or even how much money you have, but one of the biggest, darkest secrets of licensing is really who you know and how to get that relationship. A lot of the points in licensing really boils down to even understanding the rights owner, sort of what their strategy is. It's not so simple as approaching them with a lot of money, but if they're a bigger brand, they may even want or care about more about the reputation of their brand first. So depending on the type of game or metaverse that you are, definitely there's certain strategies to think about before that. So that leads us into the know your opponent. So one thing about licensors is that, as I mentioned, it's not always about money. One thing to consider is even what is their strategy. So depending on the brand, they might be looking at fixed number of deals that they want to write per year. Or maybe it's a different brand that wants to do a lot of frequency. An example of this is even like Robert De Niro. Big famous actor, but he only does a couple movies once every year. Versus somebody like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who's literally everywhere, anytime, all day. So those are things you need to understand when approaching a brand to do licensing. Another component is maybe it's about the right timing and the fit. So a brand might actually be looking for a type of game that they want to be in that you may not even know about. So obviously some other things to consider when you're looking at licensing. The next part is what we call the quarterback. So this is the guy who's going to be doing your IP strategy for you. He's going to be the one who's approaching rights owners. Things he's going to consider is even how much to pay, what is the term of the deal, how to reach out to them even in the first place. One of the things that one might consider even about doing licensing with the quarterback is even what is your own strategy. Some things with even you as a metaverse or a game, the reality is as well that you might not even be ready for any licensing. So some of the things that we need to do is, have your game build up some more compelling metrics. What are your engagement? What are the reasons why a brand should work with you? And even if it might not happen today, we can work together to kind of build that narrative and the story as you escalate into different type of brands. The other thing is join forces. What does that mean? So with EPIK, we've been successful in putting multiple brands under one campaign. So taking one IP, one example is Ultraman, a very famous anime IP, and we put them into 3 different video games, from one of the #1 MMORPGs called Arena of Valor to a premium console game called Maximum Override, and then obviously casual runner games. What's the benefit of that? We're able to spread the cost of that licensing IP over 3 different type of games, so obviously everybody wins on that scenario. And what is the result of all this? Well, namely crossovers. And why are crossovers important? Crossovers is truly that new unique content that gets created. We see this all the time in physical merchandise, like those new set of Michael Jordans and Nikes that we see every year, Kanye West and Adidas. Once we get into that with digital, that is the true unique content, and applying NFTs to it is what's going to make something truly unique and digital collectible. And then the last part is why. So if you do want to do licensing, one of the best things to really think about is, what is the reason that you want to do it in the first place? Is it to make money? Is it to drive more engagement with your fans? Or is it really, to bring your game or product to the next level with higher PR value? So a lot of these things you should consider when going into licensing, because it helps you navigate and get your stories right into your main reasons. So for EPIK, a lot of our clients, one of their main reasons to do licensing is these top 3, which is retention. So they want to create new content to keep their users onto their platforms and even attract new users. New engagement, so it's that new unique content that gets created that drives the engagement, leading to the last part, which is monetization and how they make money. So that's one of the primary things of the whys. And yeah, there you have it. It's really a quick step-by-step of what's involved in licensing. So if you thought about getting different IP that you want to get into your game or metaverse, definitely consider these 4 areas. And with EPIK, again, we work with over 300 plus game company clients, from mainstream games that include half the top 25 publishers in the world, and definitely open to meet with everybody here at our booth if you want to learn more about how to get licensed content into your metaverse or game. Thanks very much.